Treeline is the next biggest thing in Dallas-Fort Worth. We've got a company out here called Hillsboro, or I'm sorry, God, let me just redo that one. I've already, God,
way off the rails.
Came out so naturally the last time. Now I'm trying to remember everything. Today we're going to be showing you guys some of the most sought after neighborhoods north of Dallas-Fort Worth.
That's right, but today it's going to be a little bit different. We're taking you along on a journey, kind of showing you a peek behind the curtain as we help one of our clients try to find the right location for his family.
And we're going to show you guys one of the most talked about neighborhoods that hasn't even started selling yet. I mean, seriously, it's been a buzzword for years.
Yeah, but they're now selling beginning of 2025.
So this will be your first peek at this exclusive new neighborhood.
Let's go. Today we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of different neighborhoods because our client is looking for something at or somewhere right around $500,000. They want to be close to the airport. Plus they want to check all the community boxes, safety, activities, all that kind of stuff. So there's quite a few, but today we're kicking it off in Wellington. And this is something that honestly wasn't on our radar because they stopped building a few years ago, but now they're back, like bell-bottom jeans, maybe. Trump? That's a better reference, I think. He went away but he didn't really go away. Anyways, long story short, we're at Wellington, and there's a lot of reasons why you might want to consider this. We're actually gonna have an interview with a guy that's lived here for 8 years and why he loves this area so much. So you can hear it not just from us, but from people that actually live here. But first off, we've got Pulte Homes here. I know that was a long-winded intro, but Pulte Homes, this is their 50-foot product. This is the Riverdale, and they have, they build a very quality home out here. One of the things I really like about this particular model home, great kitchen setup. They have a lot of actual like earth tones in it. I think they did it very well. And also the shower in this master bathroom is fantastic. And then over here on my right, we've got the Oak Grove. This is their 60-foot product. This is one of their biggest homes. Massive, just absolutely massive kitchen in this one. So you can't go wrong with that either. So if you're looking for something big, Pulte Homes has got it, but there are a couple other builders in this neighborhood. We're gonna go check those out and show you a tour of one of them.
So right up the road from Pulte, we've got Hovnanian Homes, or Hov Homes. Their model's not quite done yet, and actually across the street, we've also got American Legend Homes, another great builder. They're not quite done either. We got here pretty early. The early bird gets the worm, or in this case, they get the incomplete model home. But the one that we are gonna show you guys is a Highland home, and theirs is ready to go. So we're excited to show you that because Highland's one of my favorite production builders. They all these guys make a good mid-range product, and we're excited to see what they got, what they're putting on the ground. Let's go check it out. We're inside of Highlands Belmont plan, and if you're a Longhorns or an OSU fan, you're gonna love what they got going on in the master bedroom. And the kitchen is to die for, honestly. But this is 2,500 square feet, and they've somehow managed to squeeze it into a 40-foot lot. So immediately to your right, you've got an office. This can actually be swapped out for a 5th bedroom because this is a 4-bed plan. 3 full bathrooms, and one of them's right over here, just across from your mother-in-law suite or guest suite here. Laundry room over here, so if you really hate your mother-in-law, you can just set off the buzzers in the middle of the night when you're done with your dryer. Obviously we got the staircase going upstairs. We'll get to that in just a second, but what I think the real draw of one of the most popular floor plans for Highland is the way that they laid out the common areas. So as soon as you walk into the living room, you've got these nice high ceilings, goes all the way to the 2nd floor. You got windows, top and bottom, letting in tons of natural light onto this beautiful kitchen. I love the way they did this right here. So the big thing right now is wood grain and especially white oak. Now, while this isn't white oak, I love the fact that they did the natural wood texture here. And then they've got the light countertops, which also complements the 2-tone upper cabinets that they got going on. Dark on bottom, light up top. All of this from here up, you got that nice white that makes everything look nice and big and tall and everything. You also got these glass plated uppers here. These are decorative touches, but they really do make it pop, especially with the built-in lighting. Stainless steel hardware, everything looks great whenever Highland does it. I love the way they do that. You also got this dining setup over here, and you can see this is a full 6-person dining set. No problem whatsoever. You still got plenty of room to move around. Plus, I like the little reading nook they did off to the side. Really nice touch, especially if the kids are done with their food and they don't want to leave the eating area yet. But over here, where the sales office is actually going to be your garage. So we're going to go check out the upstairs. Now, the really interesting thing about this floor plan is that the master bedroom is upstairs, which for some people may be a negative, but like I said, this is one of their most popular floor plans. As a matter of fact, 1 in 4 people on 40-foot lots will buy this floor plan, believe it or not. So let's go check out what they got. So as soon as you come up the staircase, to your right is actually going to be a full bath right here, and it's sectioned off, so that way you got the sink in one part and the toilet and the bathtub in the other part, so sister doesn't lock brother out whenever you're brushing your teeth. You got a bedroom here, that's obviously his, and then her bedroom right over here. And I mean, they're all decked out for like sports and everything. So you know, I made the football reference earlier, and if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know I'm not a sports guy. I don't know anything about sports. I had to consult Tom on this one, but as we come across this loft that they got set up as like a little theater area, you see a very orange master bedroom. I think it's interesting the way they did that. I think it might be like a taupe or something, actually. I'm not a color person, I'm colorblind. But it goes all the way up. They painted the ceiling, which is kind of a style that's coming in. But I do like the way they set it up and everything. Everything kind of matches. This is a king-size bed right here. Some oversized nightstand on either side. So this gives you a good idea of how big this room is. And right across the room over here, you got the vanity to the left, a standing tub, frameless shower glass with the brushed nickel, you know, hardware and everything there, water closet. And then you got your actual closet back here. There's plenty of room. That's probably like a 10 by 4 back there, but honestly pretty spacious. If you think about how narrow a 40-foot lot can be, while it's great for price and cost saving and honestly just footprint saving, these guys have really put a lot of house into not so much lot. Speaking of lot, let's go check out the backyard. So as we come out onto this covered patio, you get a good idea of how big it actually is. You've got a gas tap there, a full seating area here. So there's enough room to set up a little bistro set or a swing or something for the kids. But this is where we really need to hit you guys with a truth bomb, because the way this set is set up on a 40-foot lot, this is going to be a rear entry garage, which means that you're going to have a driveway right here where the sales office back door is. So to visualize, you're more than likely going to have a fence from the edge of this house out to where your alleyway would be. So more than likely from here over is going to be the size of your backyard, which if you want a lot of room for your kids to run around, or you just like grass, this may not necessarily be the build for you. But that's why you give us a call if you needed something a little bit more suited to your needs. But if you stick around, we've actually got a really cool interview with the one of the locals and one of the Highland sales reps that you're not going to want to miss. Hey guys, so we're here with an exclusive interview with Highland's own Darren at the 40-foot model here in Wellington. You want to talk a little bit about yourself and you know, your experience with Highland Homes?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm super excited to be here, and thank you guys for featuring our community and our neighborhood, because it is special to me because I do live here. I'm actually just 2 minutes down the road, and I actually bought a Highland home myself when I was with another builder. My boss actually told me to go secret shop my competition. That competition was Highland Homes. I walked into a model and I was absolutely just blown away. Wow. I called my wife on the spot and I said, babe, do you want to move to Fort Worth? And she's like, no, absolutely not. I said, just come out here and check it out. We were in Flower Mound at the time. Long story short, she loved it just as much as I did. We wound up buying with Highland Homes. We built with them from scratch. And the day after we moved in, I told her I have to go work for this company. The experience was just exceptional, and I wanted to be a part of it in any way I could. And here I am, 8 years later, still in my Highland home, 9 years now, and this is my hood. This is where I live.
So they really sold you then, huh? Because I actually
Sure
came from Flower Mound. It's a really nice area. So what was the big draw to bring you to Fort Worth? Was it just the neighborhood?
Yeah, well, we knew that a lot of the new construction, and I was doing this obviously with another builder, a lot of the new construction was moving out west, right, from where we were. And at the time when I was working, I was at Eagle Mountain Lake. And I was driving an hour each way, and we had just had our baby. So he's 9 now, but you know, it was tough. It was a difficult commute. And I said, let's do it. Let's move to Fort Worth. And you know, I think back to that day. If my boss had never asked me to go check them out, you know, would I be where I am today? And I can't even imagine life any differently, because I truly do love this company, and I love this area. I really do.
That's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity coming out this way. I know that's a big draw for a lot of people, especially in this area, especially at Fort Worth. What's your experience been like here since living here? Like, what's the area like for you?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny, you know, coming from Flower Mound, where you do have a lot of shopping there, one of the things that I wanted to do for my wife to convince her to move to Fort Worth, because she's thinking cowboy hats and horses and all this stuff. And I'm like, babe, it's Fort Worth, right? It's not Marks, right? So I was like, well, let me take her, instead of taking her to the community first, I took her to all of the shops that she was used to, Ulta Beauty. I took her to our favorite restaurant, the casino, right? I took her to here's the JCPenney, or here's the mall, or here's all the shopping and the dining and the entertainment that we can do. That's 5 minutes from here. And that, I think, sealed more of the deal than the house itself, because sometimes when you go to a new community, especially like this, it can feel, if you come straight here, it can feel like it's in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing around you. But what you don't realize is that just 5 minutes up the road is Presidio, Alliance Town Center, and all these shopping districts that you're talking millions upon millions of square footage of shopping, dining, and entertainment that will take you a lifetime to explore all of it. Right? And that's minutes away. So I always recommend people that are new to the area, go see that first.
Right, the things to do.
Yeah, have a great lunch, enjoy yourselves, and then come out and check us out, because this is where you live. It's not just about the house. You're gonna love the house. I know that.
Right.
It's a Highland home. You're gonna love it, right? But love the area first.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you said you had a kid around 9?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so is he in the school here at the around the corner?
So we have an elementary school right in my community, which is just down the street. The kids here will go to Sunny and Nance, which is in the same district as where my son goes. The middle school and the high school are the same for when my boy's going to go, and it's fantastic. It's Northwest ISD. They have the GATES program, which is for gifted and talented educational students. This is advanced curriculum, advanced education. It really preps them at all grade levels to get to college and to get to their careers. One of the biggest factors for us was school district. Before we made the move and decided to do this, we wanted to make sure this school district was good.
Yeah, it's always reason number one.
Reason number one, especially we had a 1-year-old at the time. And Northwest ISD has one of the best reputations in the entire state of Texas. And they're ranked consistently in the top 10 of districts throughout the state. That was important for us. And it's been proven. My son is so far ahead of where certainly I was when I was his age. I'm like, you did that math in your head? I couldn't do that. So it's been great just working with the teachers and the faculty in this district. They really, truly care.
Awesome. Well, Darren, that is phenomenal. I'm so glad you took the time for us today. I really appreciate it, man.
God, thank you, guys.
So if you need a little bit more legroom, Highland is also going to be offering a 50-foot product in this neighborhood, and so far, the model looks amazing. You've got your white oak cabinets, those are really in, the apron sink, brass hardware and everything. Looks really nice, but this is one thing we don't really get to show you guys a lot of, and that's when we get to a neighborhood so early that they're not actually ready for us to shoot a video. So we're not gonna be able to take a tour of this one because they're still working on the model home. Obviously, they made some last minute design changes and they're almost done. But if you wanna see what the finished product looks like, or you wanna see some of the other completed model homes that they're not quite finished with yet, you're gonna have to subscribe.
As far as amenities go out here at Wellington, well, they have some. We have a pool here behind me. This is a clubhouse. This is in the original section, which you would still have access to. And there's a couple grills, the straps around. There's a beautiful patio, nice fireplace as well. But as big as this place is, you think, hey, this isn't enough. And they agree with you. So they're putting in another swimming pool and clubhouse over in the new section. So that's coming soon. Hopefully, that's what we're told. But you would have access to this while you're here. A ton of walking trails, all that kind of stuff. There's a playground right over here. But if amenities is something that's high on your list, community activities, that kind of thing, we're gonna be taking a look at another neighborhood right after this that is pretty well known for just the, I guess, massive amounts of things they have there to do. So anyways, we're gonna head over to Pecan and check that out.
One of the communities we always suggest to people looking for a new build is Pecan Square, and just taking a look around, it's hard not to be able to tell what makes this place so great, because you got a lot of really nice builders putting great houses down with a cool New England style architecture you don't really get anywhere else. And right now it's right around Christmas, so everything looks dolled up and it looks really good with that accent flair. But speaking of Christmas, this place also has a ton of community aspects to it as well, including events. They've got this really cool lawn that we're actually about to walk across right now, where it's going to be difficult to see with the sun, but they got this, good Lord, probably 30-foot tall Christmas tree set up right next to their amenities center. You got kids running around at the playground, which I think is really the biggest draw to this area. I mean, sure, the houses are nice. They got many different lot sizes from like 100-foot all the way down to 40-foot lot sizes. And you know, it's a reasonably priced area for what you're getting, but the thing that really drew people here was definitely the sense of community and the amenities that they have to offer that allow you to experience that community. And that's why we keep pushing it to people, and hopefully it's going to be a future home for some of you guys too.
So as Jack mentioned, there's a ton of amenities here. You got multiple swimming pools, you've got this huge recreation area, pickleball, obviously the playgrounds where all the kids are hanging out. Just so much to do here, community events. But as far as housing goes, this is really cool. Surrounding the square, they have these townhomes, and they have kind of this like New England type feel to them. It's really cool because you don't really see this anywhere else. But they also have 40-foot lots, 50-foot lots. They got 60, it goes up from there. They have like some half acres if you want to spend some real money. But anyways, in this price point, we're really going to be looking at more of the 40 and maybe a couple of the 50-foot lot products to meet our clients' needs. So let's jump into the numbers a little bit and also what's available here on the ground to kind of give an idea for our client what might work here compared to the first neighborhood we visited. Then we're going to talk about some other ones as well. So first off, we are here in Pecan Square. And like I just mentioned, there are 50-foot lots, there are 60-foot lots, there are 40-foot lots. So right now we are looking at everything that is available or sold in the last few months here that is under 550 and on one of the bigger lots. So here you can see there's not a ton of option. The green ones are the ones that are actually available. Red's already sold, purple under contract. So we've got a couple here at $499. These are David Weekley. These are pretty nice homes here. David Weekley is a very good builder. You're gonna see though, there's nothing really over the top in these homes. So good quality home, nice kitchen. You know, you don't have these massive raised ceilings or anything crazy like that. Just a nice, nice house here, about 2,100 square feet. And then we move here to the south, we got a couple more here. So these down here in the lower fours, so this here, I believe this is a Pulte home by the looks of it. So you can see there's a difference in builders, right? And that's one of the reasons you call us. But like with this particular one, obviously siding is not superior to brick. Brick is gonna last a lot longer, there's less maintenance with it. But you can see here, again, nothing over the top. It looks like you've probably got 9-foot ceilings in this house. I mean, everything's nice, it's just nothing crazy, right? And so that is more than likely what we're gonna be looking at here if we're buying on a 50-foot lot in Pecan Square, trying to stay around that 500,000 mark. And so if we drop this down and go to the 40-foot lots, let's see here, if we go, that should do it right there. We're gonna get a whole bunch of different stuff. We've got more homes available. We got a Coventry home here. We've got a Highland home. So just to look at this Highland home real quick, we're looking at, this is actually, did we just walk this plan? No. We walked a very similar plan to this not too long ago, but this is gonna be very similar to what you guys saw today at the first neighborhood that we went to. And very nice house, right? Taller ceilings, got the nice banisters, just great finish outs all the way around. Highland always goes above and beyond. So let's say that, you know, he wants to get into Pecan around that 500,000 mark. More than likely, he's gonna be looking at a 40-foot product. So that's something to keep in mind. Does he want that? Obviously, when you've got kids, you probably want more space, but as you could see from when we were out there, the amount of kids and people and community that you've got to the playgrounds, maybe you're okay with sacrificing that backyard space to have that community and have all the other green spaces that your kids can go run around and play on. So that's something to keep in mind there. Now let's just break down the numbers real quick. And this is, and then we're gonna talk about a couple other things, but let's break down the numbers real quick. So this is mortgagecalculator.org. It's a good place to just run numbers, but basically we've got in here $500,000, 20% down. We've got 5.25% interest rate. Interest rates are all over the place right now. Right now they're around 7%. There's a lot of builders that are running promotions to get these lower interest rates, which by the way, you're more than likely paying for that somewhere, right? And so that's another reason you call us. So you don't get hosed, you know, in your closing costs, or we've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. But anyways, we're gonna run it at 5.25, 30-year note. Property taxes. So here's the thing about property taxes in Texas. There's a law passed about a year or two ago that allows you to do, it's a homestead deduction. So if you're gonna be living here, then what you wanna do is file your homestead exemption after you close on your house. And this is essentially gonna lower your taxable amount by $100,000. So on a $500,000 house, they're gonna tax you at $400,000. And that comes out to, in Pecan Square, they're right around 2.3% as far as their property taxes go. So that puts us at about $9,200 a year. Homeowners insurance, this is gonna fluctuate, especially if you're buying new versus pre-existing. Pre-existing is gonna be more expensive. This, I'm guessing, is a little bit on the high side because it's new construction. Insurance companies know, short of a catastrophic event in that area, they're not gonna be paying out. And then HOA dues, a little bit pricey in this neighborhood at $231 a month. So anyways, doing the calculations, he wants to be around $3,000. So this is a little bit higher than where he'd like to be, but obviously, he's like, hey, it's all about my kids. If, there's something where I've got to pay a little bit more to give them something a little bit better, it may be something he wants to do. So that is Pecan Square. So in Wellington, things are gonna look a little different, right? So your price points are a little bit lower, not a ton, but your property taxes are a little bit higher. They're actually like 2.67, and then your HOA is lower, right? So let's see how those stack up, because over here, he could basically buy the same type of property from Highland Homes at $50,000 less, maybe even more. A lot of times, insider information here, when Highlands is kicking off a new phase or a new subdivision, a lot of times, they'll make some really good deals to get things started. So let's say that we went over here, but let's just say he's paying the exact same amount, $500,000 and 20% down. We've ran everything else, higher property taxes, lower HOA. When we calculate this, it actually comes out to pretty close to the same thing, right? So if you're looking at buying on a 40-foot lot in Pecan or a 40-foot lot in Wellington, then it's really just gonna come down to, which one fits you better. And like Darren mentioned earlier, the benefits to the Wellington neighborhood is like you're super close to everything. The other thing that's really neat about it is like there's an elementary, middle school, and high school literally all in the same spot, right? So for, if you are raising your kids there, you're literally, maybe a 5-minute drive to the school. It's to the point where your kids could ride their bike there if they wanted to. So that's really cool. Not to say that elementary school is where they're gonna go. I believe they're building another one in that area. But middle school and high school, definitely. And you're also very close to all the shopping, like he mentioned, whereas in North Lake, you're gonna be a little bit further away. You're gonna have the North Lake Shopping Center, of course, which has a lot of stuff right there, but not nearly the amount of stuff that you're gonna find in the Alliance Corridor. So anyways, if he's looking at this and he's saying, okay, well, I see all those kids playing out there on the playground and I would love for my kid to be a part of that versus Wellington, and there's no real price difference, then I don't know, in my mind, if there's not a draw to one location or the other, he might be gravitating towards Pecan. But let's just say that we go out and we can swing him a really good deal. And let's say that he can get into the same type of house for $450,000. Then we've dropped that payment down by about $300 or so, almost, right where he wants to be. So that's an option. Now, this is just one of the things that we do whenever we're talking to clients, trying to find the best spot. Okay, like cool, like, hey, I love Pecan. This is what Pecan would look like. You can have this type of builder in Pecan, or this type of builder, or this size house, that size house, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now we are gonna take you over to Treeline here in just a minute, but I wanna mention a couple other neighborhoods. So we're not done with this client yet, right? So this is just a couple of the neighborhoods that I think are really good. Obviously you have Harvest, which we have been to before, right across from Pecan. Very similar feel to Pecan. I think they have some different amenities than Pecan. It's been around a few years longer, but still a big community feel there. It's also, a development by Treeline or by Hillwood. They do a fantastic job. So Harvest would be another option as well. And then the other thing, he's not opposed to something pre-existing, so just a few years old. So let me show you this real quick. So I just popped back over to Pecan Square. Now I'm looking at everything that's 2018 or newer, right? So something that's built in the last 5 or 6 years. And here we ran across this place. This is actually, so this is about 2,300 square feet. It was built in 2021, so it's only a couple years old. And this is actually a Cartus relocation. What that means is somebody bought the property and then the company relocated them. And so they have a whole firm, there's a whole different way this works. But typically we can get a decent deal on this type of thing, or we can figure out how to make this work. And just by the looks of this, this is a Highland home. Here we go, there's some pictures for you. This looks very similar. This is probably the same model as the new one that they've got going out that we looked at earlier for, I don't know, I think it was roughly $20,000 more, right? So there's probably some negotiation room on this. Plus the company is helping subsidize the sale of this property to get their employees to move locations, right? So anyways, long story short, this could be a very good option as well that, you know, you may not have even thought about if you weren't considering pre-existing homes. But you get a lot of the benefits. You're gonna get the structural warranty. At this point, they are through their 1 and 2 year warranties, but hopefully at that point, everything's good, right? They've got everything taken care of that needed to be taken care of by the builder. And so you're still covered by that structural warranty. But that could be another option as well if it's like, hey, let's save a little bit of money here, get something that's only a couple years old that we're not gonna have maintenance for, you know, for the next, you know, hopefully 8-9 years. At least. So that's an option as well. And then as we mentioned earlier, he wants to be close to the airport. So I'm going to talk about a couple other neighborhoods here that we have been to. We've got different videos on these, but one is going to be Viridian. So this is about as close as you can get to the airport for a good price. Viridian is another master plan community and it's absolutely massive. They have this gorgeous lake where they actually have a sailing club, they have beaches, they have swimming pools, they just have a ton to do. And this is kind of like Pecan Square. We're on a nice weekend or whatever, there's gonna be kids running around playing. You know, kids will go join their bicycle gang and run down to play games or, you know, go fishing, all that kind of stuff. So this is another really cool neighborhood. Now it's almost built out. They're building in the front of it, and then there's a lot of townhomes that are still being built. There are a few houses left, and then you have actually a 55 and up community here. So if you are somebody that's actually looking to move with your family, maybe you've got your parents are coming and they want that kind of thing, then this could be another great option for you as well. But it is going to be a little bit pricier. So most of the stuff that's going to be under 500,000 is going to be townhomes, and you're also looking at this part. There's a section here in the front that's probably going to be the least expensive, and these are still in the 500s. So so for my particular client, this may not work unless he's looking at pre-existing, and even then we're probably going to be around that $500,000 mark. Now the property taxes here, they're going to be a little bit higher. They're around 2.5%, and then also you're also going to have an HOA here, which is not too terrible. I think this is gonna differ a little bit depending on which section of the neighborhood you're in, but this one is showing $11.76 annually. So, and this is in that front section, right? So that's less than $100 a month. So that could be an option. And then one other one that I wanna mention that may be an option, and we're gonna take you out to Treeline and show you where we're at there. And Walsh. So this is over on the west side of Fort Worth, and this is a master plan community. They have townhomes here as well. They've got regular homes. They've got all kinds of stuff going up here. So let's see here. 449 is going to get you into a townhome. So a lot of the stuff in the floor is going to be townhomes. And I would say for the most part, new homes, like if you're looking for something new, you're probably going to be 550 and up over there. A lot of those homes selling, they're family-sized homes, are going to be around the 600,000 mark. And just to give you an idea here, we'll zoom in on a couple. Yeah, 599 under contract. This is 450 under contract. It's a Landsea home. That is not right. So this is out of Midlothian. Boy, they got that way off on the map. I was like, I didn't think Landsea Homes was building in there. These are mostly higher end builders that are going to be in Walsh. It's a very nice community. You've got Highland Homes again. You've got Oh gosh, Drees Homes, you've got GFO, you've got quite a few in there. And we've got a full video on this. We'll take you through all the model homes. You've got Perry Building over here as well. Just a lot of different builders. So again, lots of different options, but this community has a ton of amenities as well. You know, they've got a gym, they've got multiple swimming pools, they've got fishing ponds, they've got playgrounds, amphitheaters, zip lines. They have a maker space, so you can go do some CNC machines and stuff like that. They've got a community garden. So again, this is another community where you really do get that community feel that I think they're looking for. Now, the only downside over here, other than the price, is the proximity to the airport, right? So let's just take a quick look at this. Pecan Square is only about 30 minutes from the airport. Viridian, I mean, you're right there. Like, you're probably 15 minutes. And then let's take a quick peek at Walsh here. Walsh are gonna be a little bit further out. But Walsh is in the Aledo ISD, phenomenal school district. A lot of people move there just for that. So here at Walsh, you're looking at about 40 minutes or so to the airport, just depending on traffic. And then, as we talked about earlier, I don't know if we mentioned it earlier, but Wellington is in Northwest ISD. I know Darren mentioned that phenomenal school district. And then Northlake, I think it's also, or I'm sorry, Pecan is also in Northwest ISD. Harvest is in Argyle ISD, which also has a very good football program. And then Viridian, I believe, is in the Bedford Eulist Hurst School District. That school district is good. So all of these are gonna check those safety, community, and safety, community, and school check boxes. There we go. Yeah, so anyways, those are all really good options. So like at this point, I think it's just going to come down to what fits our client best. But hopefully if you're somebody in a similar situation, you can kind of see how we work to find out what's really gonna work for you. Because after, you know, after figuring out, okay, here are all the spots that I think, you know, check the boxes as far as the house, the community goes. And then it's like, okay, well, what location is most important to you? What other factors are important? Let's narrow that down and figure out where the best place is to call home. But now, we've been talking about this for a while, Treeline, the new Hillwood community. Let's go see what's going on out there.
So right up the road from where we just were is Treeline, or well, the future site of Treeline, because right now there's nothing here. And what is Treeline? Well, Treeline is the next biggest development in the north part of Dallas-Fort Worth. The company that made Pecan Square and Harvest, Hillwood, make phenomenal communities, as you just saw, and they're making another one. And this is the biggest thing north of DFW, and definitely the biggest thing in Justin. This master plan community is going to be spanning hundreds of acres, has thousands of houses, but right now, you can see there's not much here. Well, this is going to be the future site of the commercial development that's going in front of the community. So you're going to have things like restaurants, things to do, you know, boutiques, whatever. And then just beyond the tree line is going to be the actual residential development itself. And some really big name guys coming to this thing. So you've got 7 different builders. Beazer, Highland Homes, Tri-Point, you name it, they're gonna be there. And we would love to show you guys what they're putting on the ground, but they're not quite done with their model homes yet. They've got sticks and bricks on the ground, but it still needs a couple things before it's ready to show. So if you wanna find out more about it, you're gonna have to subscribe to the channel or just stick around to see what we put together for you guys. But we are super excited for this one because biggest master plan community on this side of DFW.
All right, so unfortunately we couldn't actually get over the bridge because it's blocked, and even if we did, we were hoping there might be a model or two close enough to finish that we could kind of get an idea of things, but there's not. So we're gonna call and see. Our guy wants to be here by June. We're gonna see if there's actually gonna be any inventory on the ground by then.
Good afternoon, Highland Homes at Harvest. This is Jamie.
Hey Jamie, what's going on? This is Jack. Inventory that you guys are putting on the ground, are you guys starting selling in March, or is that whenever they should be able to move in for stuff y'all are pre-selling?
I'm trying to see if we have a date. We're going to put in about 8 or 10 specs.
Yeah, any chance you'd be able to get me like the completion date on those?
I mean, we're probably looking to have these specs done probably by June or July, probably.
Okay, that'd be really cool.
So it sounds like it could be a possibility.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unknowns for waiting that long.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty far in the future.
Yeah.
Things could change.
Then you got like amenities and like when are those going to be done and all that kind of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good to know.